So let's come into the pose and then we'll talk about all these different variations. So when you're first cueing your student into saddle as a teacher, you can decide, am I going to cue that the student sits on the heels? So I'm up higher, or between the heels. So I'm coming down lower, or the potential is there for coming down lower. When I'm up higher, I'm feeling less in my thighs. But as I go back, if I'm coming all the way to the floor, I'm going to get more of a back bend. So if my focus for saddle is a back bend to the spine, then I might want everyone to sit on the heels. And if up on the heels doesn't work, I can always work with blocks or the ends of bolsters or blanket to raise the hip up. So that again, as I come back to the floor, I'm creating more of a back bend. If I'm sitting down in between the heels, as I come back, I'm going to be doing less with the spine, but I'm going to feel more in my thighs and hip flexors. And because in my classes, we're often in Sphinx pose for quite some time, we're focused on the back bend in Sphinx or seal. When I come to saddle, I'm usually focusing on the thighs and hip flexor areas of the body. So I'm cueing sitting between the heels, but there are other two options. So sitting between the heels, and for some, even that is a challenge, and they need to sit higher. Maybe they need to be up on one block or several blocks, or even higher, creating the height that's needed so that they can actually land on something. They're able to sit down on something with some calm in the body, even though it might be intense, nothing in the knees, and they're able to be here for time. So 2 or 3 blocks might be needed, or a stack of blankets, or a stack of bolsters if you have them where you're teaching. If you have chairs, you could even work with chairs if that's what you have to work with where you're teaching, or stools or stairs. You could be using stairs as well, or cushions from a sofa, could bring those down, books, whatever you have around in the space where you're teaching. So the students can sit a little higher to make the pose accessible if the floor is too far away. So then right away, we'll check in with the knees, because we're not looking for discomfort, pain, even sensation in the knees. So if someone says, I'm feeling my knees, sitting up higher could be one variation to explore. Or maybe I just need to prevent the knees from folding so deeply, and I could put something in the back of the knees, a bit of strap, a few layers of strap, a sock, a piece of clothing, a bit of mat, a bit of blanket, something at the back of the knee, so now my knee is unable to fold as deeply as it could before, and that may take away the discomfort in the knee. If both knees are bothered, of course, you could be using a strap with both knees, a bit of strap behind both knees, but leave a bit of free strap in between, because as I go back, maybe my knees naturally sway, move away from each other, and I want to have the freedom to let the knees go where they need to go. In many younger traditions, we strap the knees together so that they remain hip distance apart. And one of my younger teachers actually blew out a knee because she was strapped going back in the pose. So have a little bit of loose strap if you're using one strap behind both knees. So again, there's that freedom to let the knees move apart as you go back, not stuck. So if even that is not enough, maybe there's an injury, there has been an injury in the knee, and that student isn't able to come in to the pose sitting on height using a strap. Perhaps half saddle could be used if it's just one knee that needs to be straight, and they can do the other, or maybe one at a time is more manageable for them. Maybe that's too much, and saddle altogether is not going to work for the student. We bring the student out, relax the knees if the student was in the pose. And you could suggest a variation that comes from windshield wiper movement. So when I come down to one side, in a windshield wiper movement to draw one foot in towards my buttock. And now I'm simulating a half saddle on this one side, and that may be more accessible because I'm in control, much more control now. How much do I bring that foot in? Do I bring it all the way in into more of a half saddle shape, or is it further away because that's what my knee can tolerate? So that could be another option for someone who's unable to do saddle.